Hello, welcome to Recope. This video describes the Recope process that enhances creativity without sacrificing ingenuity as applied to academic translational research programs. Often the largest hurdle in pharma innovation is identifying the customer and the true unmet need. Many developments have not been translated into commercial products because the development failed to meet the unmet need and address the stakeholders' perspectives. True innovation in pharma requires perspectives of the clinician, patient, regulatory authority, manufacturer, and payers, for example. It can be challenging for the academic researcher to gather these customers' perspectives. Recope seeks to match problems with solutions at idea inception. By employing the perspective of stakeholders early, market access can be planned at the beginning. It is not uncommon for the translational scientist to think in terms of commercialization. However, for successful commercialization, one has to dig a little deeper. For example, what is the standard of care, and is there really a need for improvement? Are there current products in development that you need to consider? And most importantly, what factors are considered when making the purchasing decision, and who is making the purchasing decision? These questions can be answered through discussions with practitioners, referencing treatment guidelines, having discussions with patient groups, and most importantly, discussions with payers. This is an important point. There have been a number of pharmaceuticals or medical devices that have been developed that make it through the FDA approval process, but are not purchased. In other words, they're not being added to the formularies or payer plans. There are a number of strategic decisions that need to be made up front to really maximize profitability. They fall in the bucket of manufacturing, intellectual property, and market assessment. These questions include things like, can the product be manufactured? And can the demand for the product be met? Where are the markets and how much market share can be captured? You should think about things both from a U.S. perspective as well as global. Investors will be interested in if you can expand the market share around your product, either through add-on products or if it's a platform technology. Some of this information can be obtained through business analysts or business marketing reports, but the other pieces will require specific expertise to identify opportunities within the intellectual property, regulatory, and market space. A few of the intellectual property considerations include: is your development patentable? Is it useful, novel, and non-obvious? By practicing your development, is there potential to infringe on other intellectual property? And do you have freedom to operate? Other considerations include: where will the product be made, used, or for sale? Is IP protection available? Are there working requirements and/or compulsory licensing requirements? And can the IP be enforced? This is important when you're looking at protection abroad. Is regulatory approval needed prior to marketability? And if so, can the IP be extended to compensate for the time lost during the approval? You'll want to think of your intellectual property, specifically patents, and your FDA approval process in the same light. Patents are time sensitive, and an FDA approval process could take a significant amount of your patent shelf life. If you are required to gain regulatory approval, is there an accelerated approval path available? This is going to be dependent on your potential product. And if there's a similar proxy technology that may help speed the process. Are there opportunities for market exclusivity? And these are different, they're distinct from intellectual property or patent protection, and very powerful. But there are requirements. If you are looking at orphan drug or rare diseases, you want to make sure that you plan for your clinical trial recruitment, because that could be a sticking point. The goal is to get through the regulatory process as quickly as possible, preserving your intellectual property. Demonstrating efficacy is the cornerstone of many academic programs. The challenge is demonstrating efficacy in a model that would link to clinical trial endpoints. A target product profile or a product specification can help to focus safety and efficacy research. By planning market access early in the process, innovators can target a value-defined product, streamlining the innovation process. When applied iteratively to a translational program, the program remains informed of stakeholder perspectives, increasing the likelihood of translational success into the marketplace.